Hey guys, welcome back to the Squared Circle Action Figure Podcast YouTube channel. To start, I just want to say that this is a YouTube channel for adult collectors only. If you are a child under the age of 18, this is really not the place for you. So again, we focus on reviewing and creating dialogue on action figures and wrestling figures for adult collectors only. So yeah, if you are under the age of 18, I'll see you when you're 18. If not, enjoy the content. We hope you enjoy. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment, obviously, below. So I wanted to briefly come on here and review what our top wrestling figures were of 2019. Really, what we chose were only Mattel figures, Mattel WWE Elite figures specifically. And we are going to actually only choose figures that were released in 2019 and were a part of Mattel's WWE action figure checklist, their wrestling figure checklist. So you can find that at www.com. I'm going to put actually a link to that below. I think it's a fun checklist. It shows every single figure, including basics, elites, battle packs, and ultimate editions. So we're kind of using that as a guide this year of what was supposed to be released elite-wise from the start of the year to the end of the year. I've pulled some figures so we can talk about them. I'm not going to go over every elite series. I believe I do have one figure from each series, though, at least one figure from each series in these top figures of 2019. Again, this is our favorite figures from Mattel. We think they did a stellar job, I think, both in selection and also tooling, kind of the unique articulation and the unique kind of molds they created and face scans. So I want to say really one thing, Mattel really nailed it with selection. I think we're getting deeper and deeper into the WWE universe and their superstars. We're seeing a lot more NXT, obviously, superstars, which I love personally. We're also seeing a lot more women superstars, which, again, I absolutely love because they're extremely talented. And then we're also seeing very obscure legends, and I think we're at this point, if you're a Legends or Flashbacks guy and you're figure collecting, we've got almost everything there is to get. You know, there's a very short list of superstars that we haven't already received a figure of. But we're getting into the more obscure ones right now as well, like the Red Rooster, Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, Sensational Sheriff, Gorilla Monsoon, even headed into 2020. So I want to commend Mattel for really honing in on the selection this year. And then aside from actually selection and the obviously choosing the superstars, I think what they've done this year to really set themselves apart from other years was the tooling for each individual superstar. And we'll get a little bit more into that when we talk about their specific figures, but unique body molds that have been created that aren't probably going to be used again. Multiple interchangeable heads for figures that are very distinct to that specific superstar, which is fun. I love 2-in-1 figures. I love 3-in-1 figures. So that was really cool. And they're getting back also, I think the third thing is really they're getting back to soft goods, incredible tattoo deco, and just really bringing these figures to life. So, when you incorporate all that into a figure, that checks all the boxes for me. I want the most lifelike representation of the WWE superstar in action figure form or wrestling figure form. So I got to give it to Mattel. Hats off, guys. Mattel design team. I only know a few of you all. Bill McKenna, Corporate Steve, obviously Rob as well. I really want to thank you guys for doing some incredible work this year. again, selection-wise, filling in the holes, adding to what we already had to complete certain areas, and then obviously with the new articulation, the new molds for specific superstars, and really sparing no expense. Greatly appreciated, and I can't wait to see what 2020 has to offer. I know we have a lot of announcements, and I'm excited to see the final products. So with that all said, I really wanted to start, and I got my wall back here, which has some mint-on-card figures that I haven't taken off the card yet. I want to show you some of our favorite, obviously, Mattel WWE Elite figures of 2019. It's our favorites. It's our top list. It's not a 1 through 10, guys. Just, bear with us here. We're not gonna please everyone. I think though what our kind of criteria is we only took obviously figures that were on this checklist from Elite Series 63 up until Elite Series 71. So you're not going to get the Gorilla Monsoons. You're not going to get the Man Becky Lynch. They're not going to be in here because they are, I believe, supposed to be 2020 releases, and they're just getting them into the marketplace a little early right now. So with that said, it's our opinion. You're probably going to have a different opinion based on what time you grew up watching wrestling, who your favorite superstars are, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody has different opinions, so just leave it at that. But I'd like to hear what your favorite figures were. I'd like to hear your comments below, and and please let us know. Let us know what you think of the list. And again, this is going to be more thorough kind of video, a more thorough video. It's going to run a little longer, so we don't want to bore you too much, but we really want to keep you engaged. So let's get started here. We kind of went through all that praise, and there was bad as well. There was good and there was bad this year. We're going to focus on the good though. So thank you, Mattel. Thank you to WWE, and we're going to start here with obviously we'll do this chronological order. Series 63 to 71. So I'm going to pull the first figure that we loved off the shelf, and that was this figure here. This was the Elite 63 Dusty Rose. Absolutely love this figure. I really enjoyed it. So for me, Dusty Rose is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, all the way back to the 80s. Obviously into the 90s when he was the American Dream with the polka dots and stuff on WWE TV or WWF TV. But why we chose this figure as one of the top of 2019 was it was complete. So we had received Dusty various times prior to this, singles releases, even one very similar to this one, that was a part of a WCW ring place that was a Target exclusive, I believe, in 2017 or 2018. But he was never complete. This is it. This is the complete American Dream figure. It comes with obviously the World Heavyweight Championship, a vintage soft goods shirt, which is again, you're checking that box off. When I look at great figures, I want to see soft goods shirts, I want to see vintage shirts on these Legends and Flashbacks. So right there, Mattel, kudos to you. And this is one of two figures that actually have a actually accurate vintage style shirt with the figure. And then obviously he came with his hat and his glasses, which were phenomenal as well. So love this Dusty. I can't praise it enough. I think it's complete. I think it's one of the best Dusty Rose figures, if not the best Dusty Rose figure we got. Obviously focusing on his quintessential, son of a plumber, the plumber's son kind of image here, which is great. I love it. Cowboy boots are wonderful. I love that they gave him that green elbow pad as well. So that's really the first figure I wanted to show off. A lot of great figures that were in Elite 63, including that Bob Backlund Collector's Edition. You have the Chase Shelton Benjamin. It was a really solid series to start the year. I'm just referencing, obviously, this checklist as we go along, so if I'm looking at it, just bear with me. So with that said, we moved on to Elite 64, another another pretty solid series. I mean, again, I'm more of a flashback Legends collector, so this one didn't have that for me. There were actually no flashbacks and Legends in this entire set, but the figure that we like the most is over there on the shelf here. That was the collector's edition Elite Series 64 Pete Dunne, and as I put this on screen here, you can see it's just an immaculate figure from top to bottom. This was the collector's edition Target exclusive of the set. This was in the Elite Series the first time, I believe, that they had collector's editions in the line. They were store exclusives to store cases, specific store cases of this series. So obviously we had the Backlund on the Elite 63, and that was a Walmart exclusive. We followed up with this Target exclusive Pete Dunne. This is a great figure. I want to get the figure's great. I love the snarling head scan. I love the fact that you can see his mouth guard in it. I love the detailed actually entrance vest. The fur looks real. I love the burgundy dark red color in it. His tattoo and the knee is spot on, and it's just a great figure. The only thing that would have made it a incredible, just remarkable figure, like one of the best ever, if he had the actual UK championship hanging from his mouth. I think that would have been incredible for mid-end card collectors, or just even including it with this figure. But you know what? We still loved it, and we think it's one of the best of the year. Moving on to Elite Series 65. Elite Series 65, in our opinion, was probably one of the better series of the year. I think it comes down to three, this being one of them. Elite Series 65, we actually have three figures. Three figures we chose to be some of the best out of the year. And it all starts with this. I think that this Eric Young figure here is incredible. So this is obviously the Sanity version, the NXT version of Eric Young. Unfortunately, Sanity no longer exists. Why, I have no idea. I think it's an incredible faction. But this figure was outstanding. They did specific kind of untied boot molds for the Eric Young figure with high socks here. The flaps of his boots are actually hanging over and they look open, which is amazing. I am not sure if they've done this with any other figure. Please comment below if they have. I don't think they have. You have the beautiful, beautiful two knee pads here with alternate deco on them. And then as you come up, he has this wonderful entrance vest. Again, it's a firmer entrance vest. Sorry, as that falls. You could see that was his mask as well. That actually stays on pretty well. The only thing that I didn't like about this entrance vest was the hood was not detachable and you can't put it down. You have to take the vest off. They actually changed that with another Sanity figure we'll talk about later. I wish that this was removable in some way. And then his tattoo deco is completely accurate. So I mean, the face scan is amazing, the figure is amazing, and I love this Eric Young. Great figure from this series 65. The next one I want to talk about is probably one of my favorite figures of the year, and that is the Series 65 Nia Jax. Nia Jax, I don't know why this is out in all these discount outlets and you can still Big Lots, etc. This figure is one of the best wrestling figures ever created. I think this was a benchmark for the year. I think Mattel really went strong. Obviously, being a female superstar, they created her distinctive body mold and parts here. They went as far as to actually give her 3 different style heads as well. Her straight haired look, her braided hair, obviously, and then her kind of wavy curlied hair look as well, which is currently on the figure. This figure is amazing. I love the interchangeable heads in this respect. I think they need to do more of that. I love interchangeable heads. and I don't like them in Ultimate Editions. I just want them in Elites. And obviously, even just this raised kind of separate molded or just raised kind of plastic detail on her ring attire is amazing. Even these pieces here, they seem like different molded pieces, and then her obviously shoulder pads here, almost like being a football player of some sort. I just love this figure. You got to go out and get this figure. If you don't have it, it is one of the best. It's probably in my top 5 of the year. They nailed the TrueFX skin. The TrueFX was again one of the saving, or not, I wouldn't say the saving graces for this year, but I would say that it was one of the things, again, with the improved deco, the reintroduction of a lot of soft goods into the line. I think the TrueFX scan worked in so many good ways. So that was the second figure we really loved this year from this series. The last one I'm going to pull off from the shelf here is the Sensational Sherry. Again, we're talking about here, as I sit down, Sensational Sherry, another first time in the line figure, another collector's edition, another flashback, another really obscure manager. Not really obscure manager, I don't want to say obscure because Sherry was very well known. She's a legend. She is a Hall of Famer in my eyes, and a Hall of Fame inductee. You know, I love this. Women's champion. We got the Queen Sensational Sherry figure we always wanted. We can pair it with all our Macho Kings. This is the quintessential 80s, 90s, late 80s, I would say, into the 90s Queen Sherry. She's decked out in her, obviously, entrance gown, her crown, and then her face scan is amazing on this figure. And again, I hope I'm getting it here on camera, but it is just amazing. The paint detail is super accurate. I love everything about this figure. It is amazing. Even there is even detailed work here, webbing on the inside of the gown, which is so those were our favorites from this series. As we move on, we're going to Elite Series. I'm sorry, I can't even see it. 66. Or just that 65. We're going to Elite Series 66. This is one of the series that I really wasn't a fan of, but we did choose a figure from it. As we talked about before with the Eric Young Insanity, we finally got the Nikki Cross as well here to pair with Eric Young. So if you had the Eric Young, I believe the Killian Dane came before this, was the NXT TakeOver Target exclusive figure. And then the Nikki Cross came out, and then in this same set, the collector's edition was the Exile Alexander Wolf, so it completed that Sanity faction, which was really cool. But what I really loved about this figure is it's 100% accurate. The scale is accurate. The arms are accurate. The legs and the detail in the in-ring attire is completely accurate, all the way down to the boot cut. It is not like John Cena jeans with a boot cut. This is Nikki Cross pants with a boot cut. Perfect. The vest was with the belt is perfect. She's got her glasses, so you could take the glasses off. Then she's got the face mask. But what they didn't do, I think they realized that this was the wrong thing to do. What they didn't do is they didn't have a attached hood. What they did is they molded the face mask and the hood together so you could take it off. So they fixed what I think in this Eric Young figure was a mistake. I don't like this not removable hood, because then you can't have him with just his vest on. I like that this was all one piece. I love that it was removable. I love that it fit perfectly on the head, and it's amazing. And then when you even open up her jacket, her vest jacket, she has this hoister, or this I don't know what they call this thing, but it's like, she wears this in ring. It's perfect. and then obviously her her bra underneath or whatever. But this is an amazing figure, and then when you get to the scan, it's amazing as well. So it's completely accurate. It is 100% accurate all the way down to these kind of leathered tassels that are hanging from this leather style jacket. It's amazing. So it's definitely one of our favorite figures of the year. And again, it completes those holes, right? You finally, if you are a Sanity fan, have every figure from that faction. Moving on, we had Elite Series 67, another great series. They actually chose two figures to be kind of the highlights of the year from this series. The first one was the first ever Velveteen Dream. And at first, I think a lot of us were disappointed that it was such a basic attire, because Velveteen Dream is known for just his lavish, kind of insane kind of entrance attires. But I love it. I loved every minute of it. I love this. I love the ruffled look on the soft, good shirt here. It's almost like a pirate shirt. Like, it's amazing. I love the purple tights, with the kind of detailed embroidery here that is amazing, that goes all the way through down into the boots, and then even the feathered look on the boot was great. I love that it came with his sunglasses or glasses that have the 3 lenses, and then obviously again his face scan was great, and he even hit all the way around into his hair detail. It was just completely 100% accurate. We spoke about interchangeable heads. I love interchangeable heads, but we haven't spoke about interchangeable hands, and this is where I love interchangeable hands. You can give the classic Velveteen Dream pose. This is it. He goes back, he puts up his fingers a certain way. I love the use of interchangeable hands in this figure. I don't like the use of interchangeable hands just randomly coming with Elite figures, like open and closed fists, interchangeable hands. Please do away with that, Mattel. I don't think it was a highlight for the year. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about the other figure, which was equally impressive, the Shayna Baszler. And I just got the Shayna Baszler. So this figure, I was on the fence about getting. I didn't know if I should get it, and I'm so happy that I did. I think it's, again, another example of just an amazing head scan all the way to her ponytail. I absolutely love the towel. Even though it's not a soft goods towel, it works with this figure. And then I love that it came with the NXT Women's Championship, obviously, and everything is accurate. Her tattoo deco is accurate, her tights are great. They even spared no expense. They put the Queen's Army in here, 1980, which is great. I just love this figure. It's very phenomenal. When it stands, I even love that, Shayna Baszler in real life, if you watch her wrestle on TV, she does have a thicker thigh area. And this is hourglass with a thicker thigh area. It is amazing. Love this figure. So, as we move on, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break here. I'm going to get back to you all very soon with our next kind of round of favorite or top figures of 2019. So we'll get into the next round, because this is kind of halfway through the year. Our next series would be Elite Series, 68? And 68 was released as the SummerSlam series, and we'll be back to discuss the summer of Elite Mattel WWE figures.